Hello, and today we've got former Motherwell and current Columbus Crew player Chris Cadden. Hiya Chris, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good, all good. Pleasure to be here.
Yep, thanks for coming on. Let's start off. What is your first memory of playing football?
First memory is probably be I was at a team called Moss End Boys Club. It was round the road from my house, so just sort of played there with my brother and things, and just I think I was 6 or 7, just sort of playing there, loving it, and sort of 7 aside. Yeah, so it was about probably that, and then I think it was about 9 years old I got picked up with Motherwell, so probably that sort of period was my first sort of memories.
Can you remember your first game, your debut?
Yeah, so the debut that I came on for, wow, I touched the ball I think 3 times and gave it away 4. I was terrible. I came on against Hearts. I think I was 17 or something. It was my first year. I was nowhere near ready for the first team, and then came on, and that, yeah, it was a proud moment for me. But I sort of think my sort of real debut was my first start, which I enjoyed a lot more.
Can you remember the first goal you scored?
Yes, it was Dundee away. Chested it down and left foot volley top corner. Never done anything like that in my life with my left foot. It could have went anywhere, end up on the top corner. And you can see with my celebration that day that I was surprised as anybody.
What's the best stadium you've played in?
Best stadium would probably, it's hands down, would be the Azteca in Mexico. So I played over there for my second Scotland cap, and it was before they went to the World Cup, and wow, it was 90,000, just crazy. They just absolutely love football there, and yeah, so that was, and obviously the Maradona hand of goal, that goal, the history and things like that stadium was just, I didn't really realise at the time. Once I came away and spoke to my dad, and he's told me all about it, and people were speaking about it, you're going, wow, that was some special players that played there, and I was lucky enough to do it as well.
Who's the best teammate you've had?
Teammate as in player, or?
A bit of both, just an ability, and then we can do another one for...
I'd say Alan Campbell's probably the best teammate I've had. It's just at Motherwell, he was a pleasure to play with. I've played with the 21s with him as well, and yeah, he was a bit younger than me, but he came up, and he's been brilliant ever since he came through. And having him in the middle of the park, if I was playing fullback or midfield, was a pleasure having him there. He's what an attitude he's got as well. The most professional guy I've ever met in my life. So he's the best teammate I've had.
And who's the best teammate you've had in terms of being mates and that sort of thing?
Probably yeah, would be up there as well. Yeah, that's why I said him. Probably yeah.
And who's the worst teammate you've had for like playing pranks and stitching me up and that sort of thing?
Wow. I'm trying to think. Oh, that's a tough one, that. I remember,
have you ever been pranked?
Yeah, Ian Vigors once, when there was a Motherwell, I got my first car, and I had my Corsa. It was my first day in, and he moved it to like this car park in Motherwell about 10 minutes away. So I was literally running about Motherwell trying to find my car, and I ended up just finding it. But that was the biggest prank I've had, and yeah, so probably because that would be Ian Vigors.
Who's the best manager you've had?
Best manager. Wow, I've been lucky enough to have a right good few managers, like Carl Robinson when I was in Oxford was unbelievable. Stevie Robinson as well at Motherwell was great. Mark McGee, Stuart McCall. So I'm going to sit on the fence and say they.
That's fine. What are the best and worst kits you've ever worn?
Best and worst kit. Well, best kit I would say. So Oxford last year had like a white kit with like the sash, and it was like a blue and yellow. That was minted, all white. So I always like an all white kit. I know the kit man hates it, but I always like an all white kit. So that's probably the best. And Motherwell one year released a double denim kit. That was probably the worst.
Who's the best player you swap shirts with?
I've never actually swapped shirts with a player, if I'm honest. My brother and my dad were raging me for not doing it at the Peru-Mexico games. but because it's my Scotland debut, I just sort of wanted my
Nah.
shirt. So
You want to keep the Scotland shirt?
Yeah, I kept it. Yeah, I just want to keep that. So I was like the kit man. I was like, just give me all the Cadden tops as much as you can. There were a few people did that as well. Like Vela was playing, things like that, Chicharito and that. But I was like, nah, no chance. Give me the Cadden strips.
What are the best boots you've worn?
Best boots I've worn. I've had when I was at the 20s, I had these blue and white CTRs. See the Nike Gold CTRs? It was like, I can't remember what World Cup. I think they got brought out for a World Cup. I think it might have been 2014. I think it might have been that, if that was a World Cup that year. But yeah, they were unbelievable. I wish they still made them now. They were amazing.
Few people said those.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Best piece of advice I've ever been given? Wow. Sort of I've always been told, just work hard, just be the hardest worker in there, and you don't really realise how far sort of just hard work does, and just sort of put everything into it and just give it your all, and it's a bit cliche and things like that, but just do everything right, try and do everything the best of your ability, and just work as hard as you can every day, just turn up wanting to get better, try and improve every single day, and listen to your coaches obviously as well, but like just sort of work hard, do the things after training, do the bit of extra gym, even if you can't be bothered, like you don't want to do it, or do the extra bit after training. As you sort of getting that little bit better every day, in the months and years to time, it helps you so much. So that's the sort of best advice I got. Just sort of work hard, and things will come. So that's what I try and do.
You mentioned that you played for Scotland. You've also played in the cup final. What would you say has been your biggest achievement?
Wow. Probably my international. Obviously, Motherwell playing the cup final was unbelievable. If we'd won it, then I might be saying something different. But and obviously, I was gutted not to win it, and it was a pleasure doing that, and sort of and playing in the cup final for Motherwell was a dream come true for me. Obviously, to win it would have been that step further. But sort of playing with Scotland, that's what I was brought up doing. That's what I was brought up like as a pinnacle career, was sort of playing with your country and things like that. And to be able to do that twice is something that it was my dream growing up, and I've managed to do it.
What would you say has been your worst performance on the football pitch?
Wow, worst performance. I remember, I actually know what that is. I remember I was playing away at Dundee one year. I think it might have been I can't remember what season it was. But I remember just having a howler, just nothing was working. And just one of the days, it just wasn't happening. The gaffer took me off. And actually, at like 50 minutes or 55 minutes, I think I actually thanked him. I said, honestly, thanks for that. I was having a stinker. And he spoke to me after. He says, Kaz, what was up with you? He says, like, I didn't want to take you off, but I had to. And I says, listen, gaffer, I'm surprised I made it that far. So that would be probably be mine.
What was the last game you played?
Last game I played was wow. It was we played in the MLS sort of tournament down in Orlando there, and it was we played against Minnesota.
When was the last time you had to pay for a ticket to go to a football match?
Oh wow. When was the last time I had to pay for a ticket? I think it might have been my brother was on loan to, where was he? He was on loan to Ayr one year. I think it was a couple of years ago. I remember he had a few people down, and he couldn't get enough tickets. So I had my mum and my dad, I think his girlfriend was there, and then I had a few of my pals and that were there. So I think he only got like 4 or 5 tickets. I think I had to pay. Oh, in fact, I know when the last time I paid for them. It had been the cup final, because we only got a certain amount of tickets, and then we had to buy them. And obviously, my full family were wanting to go and things like that, and I ended up having to buy like 30 odd. And because obviously we didn't get the win bonus in the end, because we didn't win it, I think it actually cost me to play in the cup final. that was the last time I had to buy tickets.
Nah, I think most people would pay to play in a cup final though.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
Yeah. Right, Chris, that wraps it up. It's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you, mate.
Thanks.